welcome to a very special episode of Must Be Dice. We're playing Ah Dang, Mothman Won't Move Out, and he said it was just for the weekend. In this game, we have 4 roommates who all live in beautiful Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Each roommate has their own life, their own concerns, but all of that has been thrown into disarray by the arrival of Point Pleasant's most famous native son, Mothman. No one is sure why or how Mothman came to live on your couch, but you know he's overstayed his welcome. It's been 3 weeks, and Mothman has shown no signs of looking for his own place. The city recently offered your landlord a ton of money to demolish the house, making way for a bridge, the Mothman's natural enemy. He's told you have to be out in 2 weeks, and a squatting cryptid could make it even sooner. You're also worried because the Mothman doesn't have a great reputation in Point Pleasant, and residents could freak out if they hear that he's back. Will our cast of characters be able to prevent the bridge being built? Will they get Mothman to move out? All of this and more in Must Be Dice, Mothman Won't Move Out.
Really cuts
Spoilers.
to the heart of it,
I
huh?
can't wait to see the graphic.
I'm your GM, Patrick Brown. I'm joined by Charlotte Avery, Armando Torres, Elise Willems, and James Willems. Starting with Armando, who are you?
I am playing Woodrow Woody Wilson. He's a deadbeat stoner. A big part of where he does his magic work, which is what he calls it, is in the basement. He's got a whole setup down there, hydroponics to grow plants, and
medicine.
Yeah.
Charlotte?
Hi, I'm Penelope Wintergarden.
That's it.
Go on.
The end.
I'm upset, but go on.
I'm a professional dog walker, and I know the names of every dog in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I'm saving up enough so I can go with my cousins to Pleasantland this summer.
Which is?
Only the premier West Virginian amusement park home to the Moth Coaster. And my room is the wine cellar turned dog kennel.
So you're keeping dogs in the, strays in
They
the house?
can't always be walking.
Okay.
True. Dogs be walking sometimes.
I'm Elise Willems, and I am portraying Cordelia Gruselig today. Okay, I might come across a little bit neurotic to some people, but I am driven. I don't care for the BS, obviously, which is why Mothman bothers me. We're all adults here, okay? I mean, we're all cool with this guy
I'm
on
17.
our couch. You're 17. Well, I don't understand how I'm still in this situation, how I'm still single, perennially single, okay? And maybe it's because I'm so driven by my career that I can't find a man. Maybe, being a professional paint watcher, it's demanding, okay? Because people think that watching paint dry for the rich and famous, it's easy. No, it's a skill, okay? You have to know how those drips are gonna materialize. We're all adults here. Can I just say that again?
I'm 17.
Okay, no.
Next.
My name is James Holmes, and I'm gonna be playing Dudley Dudley MD. I am a living cartoon character, and when I say living cartoon, I mean fully animated. I can do things that actual real-life people cannot, like bloop, hang from the ceiling, or bloop, manifest an anvil, and whack my own head to smithereens with it. But it's not a big deal, cause like I said, I'm a cartoon with special skills, like science.
How did I end up here with these people?
Hey, I got a question for you.
And I've probably got an answer, unless I don't.
Where'd that cigar come from?
2D or CGI?
2D, what do you think I am? Some sort of schlep?
Your pants make your shirt look normal.
Oh, sorry, I was born with them.
So these are our roommates. Real quick, let's explain the gameplay because I think everyone's confused by it right now. Basically, if you want to do something, you'll tell me what it is you're doing, and you will tell me your ideal outcome. I will then give you a negative outcome. You'll roll some dice, you'll choose 2 of those dice, assign 1 to the good thing and 1 to the bad thing. That will basically dictate what and how happens, essentially.
And how?
How happens. So we open up, you've got a beautiful it's like 1 story, but you have a big attic and a nice big basement with your grow room in it.
Yeah.
The Mothman's been living on your couch for 3 weeks. None of you are really sure how he got there. It seems normal. You have no confusion about it, but you also don't really remember him moving in, the circumstances surrounding that. You'd really love for him to no longer be there.
I've sort of gathered everybody in the kitchen for a kind of secret roommate meeting here because I'm so fed up. What are everyone's names?
I'm Penelope Wintergarden. I also forgot to mention my skills are walking many dogs at once and falling asleep on
Penelope.
Go ahead and write that.
Dumper.
Dumper.
What's your name, Mondo?
My name is Woody.
So I've gathered everybody in the kitchen because we need to have a roommate meeting. I am sick and tired of hearing that clicking and buzzing out in the living room. I don't know about you, Dumper, Penelope, and Woody, but this Mothman has to go.
I can't go another day living with a fantastical, mythical being. And then I look over at Dumper and I go, no offense.
None taken. I can't stand Mothman.
He keeps dropping pianos on the dogs I'm walking.
Well, that was me, actually.
Oh.
We shouldn't be living in a house where so many dogs are dying regularly.
As you say this, the Mothman wanders into your kitchen and begins eating cans out of the recycling.
Play it cool.
Hey, hi.
Mr. Mothman. We'd like to have a couple words with you if you don't mind.
The Mothman looks you straight in the chest.
Okie dokie. So then Dumper takes his eyes, pops them out, and then puts them on his chest in line with Mothman's vision. How's that? Better?
The Mothman puts his little tube mouth on one of the eyes and kind of licks it and sucks on it a little and
Ooh.
then goes back to eating cans.
Okay. And then Dumper looks at the camera and goes, and I thought I was weird.
Coming out strong. Question for you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Do we understand the Mothman?
Not really. You think he probably sort of understands you, but he's not really one for communication.
This is why everyone needs to learn English. I can't understand a goddamn thing he's saying.
That's actually really insensitive.
Your conversation is interrupted by a knock at the door.
Was anybody expecting anyone?
Woody's extremely paranoid by the knock, and I'm gonna go head down to my basement immediately and start throwing blankets over some stuff I've got down there.
Okay.
I'm gonna gather up all the dog food cans from the kitchen so the Mothman doesn't eat them. So I'm holding about 24 cans of dog food.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna go answer the door.
It's your landlord, the Honorable Ken Nelson, who is just
The
there.
judge?
The judge, yeah, former judge. He's been wanting to build up some passive income for a while now.
Sure, yeah.
And he got a pretty good deal on this house.
That's a
It was a
good
fixer-upper.
Still
He
is.
painted it, essentially, is what he did. He did, yeah, it still very much is.
He painted over all the outlets in my room.
He did do that, yeah. And he says, hey, just checking in, just want to make sure everything's going all right. You got 2 weeks to move out.
Does he still wield a gavel to sort of punctuate the things he says?
Nobody does wear, he's a little... Basically, the reason he had to get out of judging is he was in a wreck. And he's kind of forgotten when and where he did most
so
of his
like
judging.
the wig?
So he's wearing a powdered wig.
Yeah, okay.
He may think that he was a judge in England for a while.
Yeah,
You're not really sure, but he's a
presides
little...
over it.
Mr. Nelson, we got your letter about the new overpass, but we're kind of confused as to why this means we need to move out.
The house is getting demolished. What's confusing about that? They offered old Ken $12,000 for the property.
You're selling this property for just $12,000.
Just? That's life-changing money.
I'm next to Cordelia now holding all the dog food.
You've appeared holding many dogs.
Yes, yeah, and they're spilling out of my hands, and I'm like, Mr. Nelson, I understand that it's life-changing money and could buy many a ticket to Pleasantland, but this is our home.
It's not your home. It's my home. I rent it to you. It's a beautiful system.
Dumper pops up between the shoulders of Penelope and Cordelia.
Oh, Jesus!
Fill my can.
Kenny, baby, booby. So, what's the deal here? Why we gotta get out of this place?
I've just explained it to both of them. They're building a bridge. They need my land. They have offered me 12 big ones.
A bridge, huh?
Mr. Nelson, can't you see how the last thing we need in our beautiful city is another concrete, edifice? Can't you see that a bridge is it's just another monolith? Like, what are we doing here?
This one's steel. Beautiful Chinese steel.
Woody comes up from the basement, nervous because there's a judge in his home that goes, y'all talking about the 7th Street Bridge?
What's that smell?
It's Japanese cabbage.
Sure doesn't smell like Japanese cabbage. I would know.
What's it smell like to you?
Korean cabbage.
Oh.
Woody takes the mouth off of Dumper.
If I may,
Yeah, what is it, little girl?
addressing Patrick, one of my skills is incentivizing (treats), so I could probably direct the judge wherever we need him to be if we don't want him around anymore.
Probably a way. You definitely don't want him to know that there's a Mothman there.
Okay, sure. So if I'm thinking about what a judge who thinks he presides over an old English court might like, I think some sort of like proper English breakfast
Okay.
If I could convince him that they are serving an English breakfast with beans and tomatoes and
Yeah.
pudding down at the diner.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what you're doing is you are going to talk to him to try and convince him that they're making a beautiful English breakfast down at the diner.
Yes.
So if that doesn't work out, he's going to know you're lying and be so mad that he's going to storm through the rest of the house looking for any excuse to just write you up and take more of your deposit. So you can
Okay.
roll 3 because you have an advantage on that.
2 good, 1 bad?
No, you roll 3 and you'll pick 2.
Oh.
So one of them you just get rid of.
3, 3, and 5. So Nick's a 3, good 5, bad 3.
Okay, so he's interested. He's like, "Are you kidding me? An English breakfast, like where I'm from, England?"
Your Honor, I would swear on a Bible.
The English Bible.
The English
The
Bible.
English Bible,
Yeah.
the Anglican. Yeah.
Anglican.
They have their own Bible.
Protestant Bible.
Wow, that's something. I'm still a little confused about that smell. I'm gonna come back later after breakfast.
I hand him a copy of Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere on his way out. For your troubles.
He says, "I can't read."
Perfect. Close the door behind him as he's leaving, and I just turn to everybody and I say, 2 weeks isn't enough time for us to move out of this place or to find a boyfriend.
Dumper's mouth flies out of my hand, bounces around, and then lands on his face.
What I was saying is, I agree. You'll never find a boyfriend. While you 3 were putzing around with old Kenny boy, I, Dumper, was coming up with a plan.
You, Dumper?
Me, Dumper.
A plan?
A plan.
From Dumper?
From Dumper. Oh, he's going back to it. But here's the thing, $12,000. If we can raise that kind of money, we could buy this place ourselves. Quick, check your pockets. Dumper opens up his pockets and then that one little fly comes out.
Yeah.
Does Mothman eat the fly?
Mothman eats the fly. And you look up, Mothman is now in the living room. He's got the recycling bin in one arm.
Yeah.
And he's watching HGTV. He's watching the Property Brothers. He's kind of hunched over like this, and he's just
Christ
eating
rolls.
cans, bottles, and really anything that's in the recycling. He's kind of just chowing
Does anyone
down.
else think it's a little weird that he ate that fly? That'd be like if you ate your cousin.
I mean, it's kind of in character.
I
One,
think it matches, yeah. I think it scans.
All right.
one problem at a time. Whoever invited this guy needs to tell him to leave.
All right.
I agree.
What, me?
Yeah.
It was clearly Dumper. He's one of his fucking cartoon friends.
Why would I want another cartoon character from a fictional world here with me?
So you're aware of it.
Well, I am aware of the limelight, if that's what you mean. Then the lights go down in the place and the spotlight hits them. And he goes, because of my many talents.
Cartoon tomatoes.
Yeah, and
fly
they're
up on
booing
screen.
it.
Yeah, but then a real tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From off stage.
And Mothman wanders onto stage and just looks around. And he's cartoon Mothman.
Yeah. The facade breaks and
Yeah.
it goes back to the real
Yeah.
world.
Is he a client of yours?
No, in fact, he doesn't seem to like the dogs at all. His eyes glow a pearlescent yellow when he sees them in the same room.
Oh. Well, I didn't invite him here. It's not like I'm sleeping with him or even tried to.
I mean, he...
That means he's interested.
You should talk to him, Cordelia.
I don't think he's interested.
If you try again, that's the best way to push him away. Everyone Cordelia's ever been interested in has never stayed more than a couple minutes.
That's true.
Why don't you go flirt with Mothman? Worst case scenario, he stays just a little bit longer and still declines you.
I guess I could go flirt with him.
Tell him about your books.
Turn on that Cordelia charm we know you have.
I can be charming.
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, I guess I go up to Mothman and I kind of like unbutton a button a little bit and
From the corner, Dumper is now dressed in almost a Renaissance attire and has stretched his nose out and he goes, one more button, toots.
she sighs and buttons another button on her blouse.
I'll help you through this.
Okay. Well, so she approaches the Mothman and waits to hear what Dumper will Cyrano de Bergerac into her ear for her to say.
I fall asleep. I've taken a nap on the floor.
Okay.
Say hello.
Hello?
Not like that.
The
Hello?
Mothman looks up from Property Brothers.
Hello.
Dearest Mothman,
Dearest Mothman,
you have caught my eye
you've caught my eye
and my heart.
and my heart.
And I think that you and I
And I think that you and I
would make an excellent pair.
make an excellent pair.
Doggy style or otherwise.
Doggy style or otherwise.
The Mothman vomits up the bones of one of the dogs that has since gone missing.
Oh, God.
He looks at the bones and then he looks at you.
I kind of gesture to everybody to come back into the kitchen. We got to regroup here.
Well, I think that went well.
That went terribly.
I see what I gotta do, and I undo the button on my pants and start heading to the living room.
Okay.
I come back and I go, he's not interested.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Isn't his whole thing that he's supposed to be out there in the world destroying bridges?
I don't think he hates bridges. I think he warns of the destruction of bridges.
But it can't be ignored that where Mothman goes, a bridge does not.
Exactly. Are we the only ones picking up on this? That he's here on our couch instead of doing what he should be doing, which is being associated with the decimation of bridges.
If it comes to bridges, I think and then he transforms his face into old but still kind of younger than now Clint Eastwood.
I know a thing about bridges.
Dumper excluded. Are either of you picking up what I'm putting down?
I got you. If we can stop this bridge from being built, we could keep our home.
If we get Mothman out of here, maybe he'll stop the bridge from being built.
I just got an amazing idea. What if we get Mothman to prevent the bridge from being built?
I like it.
I use my trademark whistling skill that I also have to summon Mothman into the room.
Okay.
Add that in post.
You're whistling with the intent that it will bring Mothman into the room?
Yeah.
If it fails, he goes on, it sends him into a rage and he tears around the house.
I don't see anyone else rolling for anything.
Isn't whistling a skill of yours?
Yeah, it is.
Shouldn't you roll
Then
an
roll a
extra
third
die?
one. So that fails. However, the other thing does happen. And Mothman comes screaming into the room, violently thrashing around. You're not really sure what he's after, what he wants, but he's knocking over the refrigerator. He's punching out light bulbs. You are all in a blind
I
panic.
fall asleep.
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna try to throw an edible in his mouth.
Okay. Do you have a skill for that, or is it just you're gonna?
I make great edibles. I'm trying to
That's
get him
not
to
doesn't have
calm,
anything to do with tossing.
trying to get him to calm down.
Okay, if it doesn't calm him down, he's gonna get really angry.
He's gonna get super bad. He's very straight edge.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a 6 for good and a 2 for bad.
What you can do here is you can negate the good thing and the bad thing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get a 2 for the good thing and a 6 for the bad thing.
Yeah, so basically neither thing happens. You kind of think about throwing the edible, you look at it, you look at the psychotic demon rampaging around your apartment, and you think, nah.
I look at the edible and then I go, I don't want to waste it, and then I eat it.
Okay. It's a really kind hybrid.
Oh, I fall asleep.
Okay.
God, does anybody in this house not immediately fall asleep?
Dumper is floating in the air with the actual physical Z's coming off of him.
Nightcap?
Yeah.
Long
Yeah,
nightcap.
fully dressed as an
Yeah.
elf. Looks
Yeah.
like.
Oh my God.
So everyone's asleep. Mothman is still tearing around the
Okay,
kitchen,
well,
just
I'm-
ripping out drywall.
We have this thing that we've done where we get a laser pointer and we try to use it to get his attention, like a cat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to use the laser pointer
Okay.
and distract Mothman during his rampage.
All right, if it fails, you're gonna flash him in the eyes and he's gonna get real upset.
So I rolled a 3 and a 5.
Okay.
A saw and a log.
So I'm gonna
yeah.
assign the 5 to the good thing and then
Okay.
the 3 to the bad thing.
All right, so he does calm down. Well, he's like fixated on the thing, like a cat,
Yeah.
like looking up and down all over the place, and he's kind of like feeling with his like weird fly tongue thing around on the wall. He's definitely aware that you are the one who is doing this, and he's not necessarily. He's kind of like flashing looks over at you, like very untrustworthy.
I start stomping my foot on the ground, try to wake everybody up. Wake up! Wake up!
Yeah.
The saw cuts fully through the log, causing half of it to fall and bonk Dumper on the head, waking him.
One of you needs to lure him out of the room while he's kind of in this daze and get him back. Just get him back on the couch. Get him subdued.
I think I can relate to him. Man, well, close enough to man. Well, close enough. Dumper is going to try and smooth talk Mothman
Okay.
over to there. So
Is that a skill?
one of the skills are to diffuse serious moments with humor.
So you want to tell a joke
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the hopes of kind of ingratiating him to you and calming him down.
Yeah.
The goal being to lead him to the couch and get him to sit back down and eat his
Yeah,
cans. Okay, yeah. If it fails, he's just gonna be really pissed off at you because
He's not gonna laugh, which is in
That's-
some ways the worst punishment.
the worst
Dumper
thing.
can
Yeah.
get.
You're gonna bomb.
3 for the bad scenario and a 6 for the good scenario.
All right, so it works. He hears the joke. He loves it. He sits down.
How does he sound when he loves it? That's actually opposite to the way human jokes really go.
Yeah.
Not exactly the response I was looking for, but I'll take it.
He sits down, but he's not watching Property Brothers anymore, and he seems hyper aware of the four of you. He's still eating his cans, but he's watching you all like a hawk.
Through the kitchen doorway? Or did he rip a hole big enough
Well, there's
in the
not
wall?
many doorways left in the house after that rampage.
What time is it?
11 a.m.
On a weekend?
on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
So Dumper sits down next to Mothman and kind of goes to put his arm around him, but he's got such short arms that it goes like and stretches all the way around to the other side of Mothman's shoulder. So, Mothman, can I call you Mothman? We got a bit of kind of a conundrum on our hands, and you see, if you don't get out of here and start doing what you do best to Bridges, then we're gonna lose our home. So, you know, maybe you could do us a favor, see?
The Mothman flaps his wings violently at the word Bridges, but then sort of looks back at the cans, looks at the Property Brothers, which is paused. It's TiVo'd, so he's not watching it, but it is paused. Kind of looks at his cans, looks at the Property Brothers, and then goes back to eating cans and presses play on the TiVo, which it is a TiVo. You still have a TiVo.
And I'm actually pissed because it used to be full of How High and Half Baked and Pineapple Express.
Now it's all Property Brothers.
Now it's all Property Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Not even the
Fox
high
News.
episodes of Property Brothers.
No.
No, just
The
their
famous
clean
high
ones. After they got
episodes.
sober.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they got real straight edge.
The house has got a lot less interesting, too.
Yeah.
I walk over because I see this sort of work, you know, and Woody slides onto the couch and I go, Mothman, Mr. Man, I'd like to show you something. And I want to flip it to the news where, of course, they're talking about the 7th Street Bridge and showing concept art.
So the Mothman does get really close to the TV, and he's kind of like darting around looking at the bridge, you know.
That's going to happen here unless you do something about it.
He just kind of keeps looking at the TV. He's not really. He's kind of just.
Listen,
bridge
mister.
art.
I stand on the coffee table. I've been saving up money all summer to go to Pleasant Land. And if I move out in the next 2 weeks, I'm not gonna have a wine cellar converted dog kennel to keep all the dogs in the county there. And I'm gonna have to hang out with my dad and catalog our VHS collection.
Mothman vomits up a partially digested but still living dog.
What are some things that we've like observed about Mothman in the 3 weeks that he's been here? Things that we know about him, like he's leaving comatose, half-naked men leaning against trees in our backyard constantly. Like, what kind of stuff have we inferred?
He doesn't leave much.
Yeah.
He sleeps on the couch. He watches a lot of Property Brothers. He eats a lot of cans. Sometimes he'll eat other forms of trash as well.
Or dogs.
Or dogs. You don't really see him eat dogs, but he seems to have a steady supply coming in because a lot of his responses are vomiting up dogs.
Well, he
or
asked for
dog
the
bones.
key to the cellar.
That's why then. He does get excited upon seeing images of bridges.
Okay.
But that's about it. He seems pretty comfortable though. Also, there's like holes in everything now. Your clothes, the couch,
yeah.
everything is full of
that
holes.
would happen.
I kind of like rally everybody into the kitchen again, out of earshot of Mothman. What's the one thing that we've learned about Mothman that he absolutely loves?
Property Brothers.
Property Brothers.
Cans.
Now, what have I deduced?
Property Brothers.
Okay, thank you,
Property
Dumper.
Brothers, actually.
What have I deduced from looking at the online Property Brothers forums?
They're
In
not
that-
sleeping together.
No, they are brothers.
Right.
In LP. They do not have sexual relations.
I know
with each
that.
other.
That we're aware of.
I didn't write it.
All right.
I have no fan fiction of the Property Brothers.
Published.
In a matter of days, the Property Brothers will be working on beautifying the 10th Street Bridge. Now,
Different bridge?
a different bridge.
Wow, we got a lot of bridges in this
There's
town.
it's
Anything can be property.
we live in Bridgerton.
You live in Point Pleasant.
Oh, okay. What if we were able to get Mothman to think that he has a job on Property Brothers?
Don't they only hire each other, the brothers? Wouldn't he have to be a third property
He
brother?
would.
What?
He would have to be.
That would
Hold on.
necessitate endless document doctoring.
What if we had someone who could change their appearance to make themselves look like a property brother to invite Mothman to the property brother's new bridge.
But a property brother isn't recognizable unless accompanied by a second property brother.
Well, Cordelia, you can just dress up as the other one.
Yeah,
I was thinking that Woody could do it.
I could do it.
Why don't we all four be property brothers?
Well, I guess we could. What do the property brothers even look like?
White, I think.
Tall.
I think they got hair,
Let's see.
feet. I don't know. You guys all look the same to me.
They look like if John Mulaney played high school football.
That's actually really good. That's a really good description. Of
I've got an idea. We want to make him into a property brother. But what if we make him into a property brother-in-law? What if we dress one of you up as a property sister?
So one of us has to sleep with the Mothman, is what you're telling me.
That's
Yeah.
not what he
Well,
said
it
at
can't,
all.
and it can't
He
be
said-
Cordelia then, because he's not interested.
And it can't be you because you're 17.
Very well. All do it. And then Dumper spins around like a tornado and then appears, but not as a property sister, but as a 1960s makeup artist. And then goes, Woody, it's your time in the spotlight. And then starts going all over Woody and going, darling, you're gonna look wonderful. Once I'm done with you, you're gonna be beautiful, baby. And then after a huge puff of smoke,
Yeah.
I can try and do this.
Yeah.
So Dumper, as a grizzled old makeup artist, is gonna try and make Woody look like a believable property sister.
Okay, and do you
like
have a
it.
skill or anything for that?
Nope.
2d6s.
I look like John Mulaney did cheerleading.
A 3 and a 6.
Okay.
So 6 for, I'm gonna do 6 for good scenario and
Yeah.
a 3 for bad scenario that we did not discuss.
It doesn't look like the best property sister, but
Okay.
it's a pretty dumpy property
And
sister.
so the clouds fade away.
Homely.
And then Woody
He's
is
a very handsome.
now
She has a
appears-
show on HGTV called Homely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woody now appears as the aforementioned property sister, not lustful necessarily.
But a handsome woman, to
and
be
go,
sure.
Maybe if we undid one more button.
Button it back up.
Button it back up.
Okay, so, well, it's close, but I think it's going to need something a little bit extra to truly deceive him. Penelope,
What?
the Mothman loves eating your cans of dog food, correct?
Yeah.
And you've got a bit of a supply of a secret stash in the basement, correct, Woody?
You a cop? You got to tell me if you're a
No,
cop.
I watch paint dry for a living. I guess I'm a paint cop, a drip cop.
You are a drip. I'm sorry, that was low hanging fruit. I
No,
couldn't
I
help it.
get it.
I actually feel like you would enjoy my stash that I have. It might make your job more appealing.
That's true.
Yeah.
I should try some sometime. Maybe while the Mothman is trying it, I could try it. And if something happens between us, so be it.
As long as Dumper doesn't get any.
Is anyone else a little bit concerned that even though I did a magnificent job turning Woody into a property sister, he doesn't really have the, the je ne sais quoi of a modern house flipping woman? I feel like it still feels like Woody.
Well, that's why I was suggesting we drug the Mothman.
Oh.
By putting drugs in dog food for him to eat.
Well, what about that alongside some feminine lessons?
I was gonna say we teach him in the ways of feminine wiles.
Exactly.
Oh, like a cotillion almost.
I was thinking Pretty Woman.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
So, and Dumper goes, I love this idea. And then his face transforms into Richard Gere. And he goes, I'm not sure it works right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dumper is a cartoon character, but
Yeah.
living in the world that we inhabit as real people, when he contorts his face, does it sound like bones breaking and flesh reconfiguring? Is it horrifying?
Do you want it to?
Yeah, kinda.
Sure. It really grosses you out. You know it doesn't harm him in any way or anything, but it really disgusts you.
Oh, jeez.
I like to think that Dumper is a spirit that has inhabited a real person.
It could be.
And
Some
just-
like mask sort of.
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Sure.
Nope.
I have roots in racist anti-war cartoons.
Don't look up my work in the 40s and 50s.
Can I roll for a montage?
Of course.
Yeah.
What I want the outcome to be is we successfully montage Woody to the point that he could seduce the Mothman.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, it's a botched montage and it ends halfway through.
Yeah, it could be a botchtage.
Yeah, a botched-tage.
Double threes, snake eyes.
Okay. It's like he got about half the lessons.
I got books on my head, and I got really good at that. And that's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
So
it.
it's a montage, but he's not in half the scenes.
Yes, it's just an
Throughout.
empty chair.
It's mostly Dumper as George S. Patton.
Giving really passionate speeches,
Yeah.
but to no one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it cuts to Woody just smoking weed in the basement
Yeah.
as you're giving Patton speeches.
I was gonna say an increasing amount of the scenes toward the end are them getting me back out of my basement.
Yeah. Like at the end of the montage is just all that.
It's
Yeah.
mostly Cordelia and Penelope like carrying books.
but you
back
learn
and forth.
you learn a few valuable lessons though.
So, like, what are the feminine wiles we feel like Woody needs to embody to convince the Mothman?
Embracing my sexuality
Okay.
is number one.
I'm trying to think of, like, what do we need Woody to go into that room and do
I think
with Mothman?
it's a certain amount of charm, manners.
Mentions of property, probably.
Don't talk much.
Don't talk much.
I think
These are old-fashioned
Well,
lessons.
yeah.
I guess you would have to convince him that you're a property sister. You would have to be able to convey
Know a
something
lot.
distinctly to him about property.
Yeah.
That's
That
great
would-
because one of my skills is freeloading, a smooth talker who can get people to do stuff for him.
Okay.
Oh, great.
maybe hold a 2x4
To what end?
just to look like you've come from a property.
Oh, yes.
and then
got it.
I would also impart a handsome giggle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's really good. You're really impressed by that.
That's very good. Wow, you're getting quite good at this.
So you're going in, essentially, you've been made over.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've had your lessons about property, and it was feminine wiles?
Yeah.
She needs to be able to convey to Mothman that she's serious about property.
Yeah.
There just needs one more thing. And then Dumper pulls out a giant cartoon hammer and go,
Okay.
here, hold on to this.
Okay.
But when Dumper hands it to Woody, it's like this big, like it's
Right,
small.
yeah,
and it
yeah.
immediately becomes photorealistic and it's this small.
All right, so you're going in there to seduce the Mothman, essentially?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so the plan is
to lure the Mothman to the other bridge,
where he will meet the property brothers.
who we will find
And get him
hopefully
passionate about
then
bridges again.
impressed. Yes.
I don't want to throw a wrench into the works or a very tiny hammer, but in order for the Mothman to be a property brother-in-law, he needs to be wed to the property sister, and who better to perform that than a judge?
The
right.
landlord Nelson?
Where are we gonna find a judge?
What? Wait, you went, oh, like you knew what we were all talking, like we all went, oh, like we knew exactly what we were talking about, but
Oh, if we just find a judge.
no, it's the landlord, the landlord.
Ah,
The Honorable Ken
a
Nelson.
judge.
I don't think he
Find
still knows
somewhere.
what we're
I just
talking
wonder
about.
where we're gonna find a judge.
Or a man. Or if we're going to be alone, living with three
Okay,
weirdos.
you're making it about you again.
You know, Dave from Alvin and the Chipmunks lived with 3 weirdos, and he was just fine.
I'm 47 and I'm not ready to be a mother.
Wow.
But you still want kids?
Really?
Eventually? Okay.
You look 45.
Thank you.
Oh, is that what these are? And I open the freezer and there's a bunch of eggs in
Yeah.
there.
Some of those are mine.
There's several cartoon eggs that all hatch at once and little chicks come out.
It's like
They all have
little
my
your
head on them.
Yes, yeah.
They're beautiful.
Stop. Keep going. What
All right.
story happened?
So you need a judge to marry him, but first things first, you need to seduce the Mothman with the intent of marrying the Mothman in the guise of a property sister, so that the Mothman can become a property brother-in-law to work on this bridge and get him passionate about destroying bridges again.
Why are you
Yes?
saying it like it's convoluted?
I'm just
It's
trying to
a
get
very
up to speed. I'm just trying to get up to
straightforward
speed.
plan.
I love the plan. I'm just trying to get up to speed.
the phone rings.
Okay.
It's Landlord Nelson.
Who is it?
Landlord Nelson.
Oh,
He says he's going to be over here in 10 minutes.
that's 10 minutes from now.
He says,
Is that convenient for you, story-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can get the Mothman to fall in love with Woodrow during that time.
The who? Did you say the Mothman?
No. I
The
think
scourge of bridges all across the...
did you?
Mothman.
How was breakfast?
Oh, breakfast was wonderful.
Wait, did he? What did you have?
You know, I don't remember.
Gotta go. The landlord is going to be here in 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes to woo the Mothman.
this is what I was born to do.
Maybe when the judge gets here, we can ask him if he knows any judges.
Oh Oh my God.
I put my hand on Dumper's shoulder and I go, never change, buddy.
And then he changes 100 different times.
Oh, that's gross every time you
Goes
do
through
it.
like a Terminator 2
His
liquid metal
a face
transformation
comes out of
at
his
the end.
mouth and then
Yeah.
goes back in.
God. Okay, let's do this.
All right.
I'm heading into the living room.
Where are you all? Are you all going into the living room?
I
or
think
are you-
we're watching.
Yeah, yeah.
from
Yeah,
So
listening.
it
Like
would be
lined up like
it
a-
would be like a head, and then Dumper
feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
top.
the shortest one of us.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my bell-bottomest jeans,
Okay.
my cleanest tool belt, and a shirt with most of the buttons undone. Not straight down in an order, by the way, randomly.
You look back to the two of them to get their reaction, and they're shaking their heads no, and Dumper's shaking his head yes.
And I just want to make sure if we want to make like an intro to the montage, we could call it Purdy Woman with an apostrophe before the Purdy. So it's like Purdy Woman. Turdy
Okay,
Woman.
but the whole intro
Purty.
says all of that on it.
You want to seduce the Mothman, and then we've been over this, the whole plan. I think so. You are prepared. You have like a charm thing, right, or something?
Yeah,
One of your-
I'm a smooth talker.
Okay, and there a lot of prep went into this, so you can do 4 dice too.
And so,
No,
what's
thank
the
you.
bad thing that would happen if this doesn't work?
Yeah, so the
out?
bad thing that happens is Mothman will probably
Eat her.
see you as food.
I think.
Yeah,
Eat him.
and very good chance will eat you.
Because we haven't established that he eats women.
No, you haven't, but I'm telling you, that's what's
Okay.
gonna happen.
Okay. So I'm gonna use the 5 for the good thing and the 1 for the bad thing.
What?
No, you don't want to do that. Then the bad thing happens. Then you sleep with him and he eats you.
So I'm,
I think he made the right
If you
choice.
want to do that,
so I'm gonna
we're
use
near the end.
5.
Like a praying mantis.
I want to use the 5 for the good thing.
Yeah, so it
So I guess
succeeds.
I'll use the 3 for the bad thing.
Okay, so the Mothman. I mean, you can describe how it all goes down, but
Yeah.
you do
We're all
successfully. You sleep with the Mothman,
Oh yeah.
and
Wait, why is it going as far as sleeping with him?
that's what this was about. Are you trying to just marry without?
Well, not
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
give
no.
up the-
I'm not gonna give it up for anyone other than my husband.
Okay, so describe what happens.
Mothman only marries virgins.
Yeah.
That's true. Describe what happens, but the Mothman also eats your leg in the process.
So Patricia Property makes her way out, and
I think it's brothers.
I'm holding a 2x4, and when I get to the couch, I set it down and then use it sort of like a pole and make my way around it and then sit down seductively.
Dumper goes, he hasn't used the hammer yet.
Oh, he likes it.
Ah.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Hey, big bug.
Oh, he likes that. He
working.
really likes it.
Wow.
It's working.
His wings are turgid.
Oh.
The name's Patricia Brother, and I extend my hand out.
The Mothman puts his little weird straw-like mouth
Yeah.
all over your hand,
He does it like kissing somebody's hand, but
all over it. Yeah,
it burns.
it is pretty acidic.
It burns. Yeah, I wipe my hand off on my Levi's jeans.
And it burns through the Levi's.
A bit.
Sorry, my Lee's jeans.
Yeah, Lee pipes. It starts to
Yeah.
burn through your Lee pipes.
Tell him what beautiful eyes he has.
What beautiful eyes you have.
They're glowing. I mean, they are gorgeous. There's no denying that. You see yourself reflected 500 times in each facet of the moth's eyes.
Tell him you hate bridges.
You know, I was just talking with my 2 brothers, and we were talking about how much we absolutely despise bridges.
He's extremely excited that you've mentioned the Property Brothers.
Have
and
you
Bridges.
heard of the? I do this. I
Yeah.
put my
Are you
leg.
standing?
up my other leg. No, I'm sitting on the couch.
Oh, okay.
And I go, have you heard of this new, I don't know, 7th Street Bridge? This abomination.
He gets really upset, and as you say, bridge, and at that point, seeing your leg cross does devour your leg.
Oh!
Oh, 2 legs down.
It's just one leg down.
Oh, just one leg.
Yeah, and the saliva is acidic enough that it kind of cauterizes
Cauterizes
the wound.
Oh.
But you are missing a leg and
Does he-
in shock.
Dumper goes, pinch your nose and try and blow through your closed mouth so it pops out a new leg. That's strange. It normally works for me.
But the Mothman doesn't really seem upset. He just did that.
Just did
He's
that.
now
Just
kind of happily listening to you again.
Does he cough up a bone so I could give it to some of the dogs still in the wine cellar?
He coughs up a bone so you can give it to some of the
Run in
dogs
there
still in
and
the wine
snag
cellar.
that, and I'm
Okay.
just gonna go do that.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. What I was thinking was that maybe you and I go do something to stop the bridge from being built.
He doesn't hate that, I don't think.
Guess well they have to get married.
If you're amenable to it, I thought maybe we could make it our honeymoon. And that's when I reveal a ring.
He seems to accept.
Does he put the ring? Does he put his little mouth through the middle of the ring?
He
swallows it.
Yeah, but then he eats it.
Okay, got it.
But he's not going anywhere. He seems with you and attentive, excited about the Property Brothers.
I would be offended at that if I hadn't paid for it with my roommate's fun to go to a theme park.
I'm still in the basement.
Dumper, now sitting by the window, in almost a weird bathrobe with shorts.
Like Hugh Hefner?
His foot in a cast.
James Bond.
Holding a camera with a large telephoto lens.
Yes.
Looking out the window, turns to Penelope and Cordelia and goes. Well, he's coming this way. Referring to the gentleman walking up the sidewalk. He's gonna be here any minute. I can't hold him off.
Like I didn't like most children watching 90s cartoons, they don't get the reference. They're coming this way.
Quick, there's gonna be here any minute.
Jack is on his way.
You're gonna have to hurry.
Oh my god.
I'll hold him off as long as I can. He starts taking flashes and changing the bulb every time.
You hear from downstairs a knock on the door.
We're upstairs?
No. You hear from the door a knock on the door.
Got it. Okay.
I guess this is it. I'll get the door.
Wait, should we put on our Sunday best for the wedding?
This is one of my going out outfits, is it not?
Really? Okay.
I wear this on dates.
No, yeah.
You're right. I put on a nicer pair of Lee's jeans over my jeans.
They're crisp.
You guys go change and I'll get the judge at the door install.
Okay.
Okay, so
Dumper reveals that and
Like a tornado? Or?
yeah,
Oh,
like basically
I
like
see, yeah.
shoots
Yeah.
himself up and then poof, in a cloud that is left behind of him in a running position. But then he goes and then walks through the cloud and then slowly walks to his room.
Okay.
I run into my room and then I come out wearing a sundress and also one of those belts with 8 dogs, all wearing bow ties.
It's like you're dressed like Cruella de Vil.
Okay.
And I have a beagle, 2 Dachshunds, a German Shepherd, a Chihuahua, and 3 Corgis.
Okay.
Dumper comes out of his room dressed exactly the same with all the same animals and then looks up and says, well, one of us is gonna have to change.
While this is all
And then you let go of the
happening-
leashes and you go, scatter!
While this is all happening, Cordelia answers the door and she, trying to stall for time, she just goes into a very, very slow bend at the waist bow. And she's just trying to buy for time. And so she's just bowing very, very slowly. Cut back to them.
I have put a wig and a bow tie on Mothman.
Okay. He seems to be okay with it.
What kind of wig?
It's actually not a wig, it's a Yorkie.
Okay.
It's the half of the dog.
Yeah.
They spit up.
Cut back to the two of you.
Oh, Your Honor. And I also go into a very slow bow.
Yeah, misreading the situation, he goes for a kiss.
I'm 17.
He backs up. Briefly seeing through the haze of his senility.
I used Dumper's camera to take a picture.
These guys are trying to kill me over here. Taking pictures of in my face.
Oh,
I'm
Trying to kiss me.
Judge Nelson.
You perverts.
No, that's not us. That's not.
That was someone else.
Oh.
Dumper, take another picture of him.
Cheese! And then hands him a big piece of cheese.
Hello.
We heard you like cheese.
Judge Nelson, pleasure to meet you.
The Honorable Judge Nelson.
No, you know us. We're your
snaps.
tenants.
I try to rise. I try so hard.
He's in a salute.
I salute back and I say, Judge Nelson, we are in desperate need of your services today because we have actually a nuptial ceremony that's about to occur here, and we do not have a judge.
So we wanted to know if you knew any judges.
Do I know any judges? I'm a judge.
You're a judge. Of course, you're
He's
a
a
judge.
judge.
He's a judge.
Well, but we meant like we need an esteemed judge that can perform a marriage ceremony.
That's probably too hard.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't know that you could do it.
Of course I could do it. I've married dozens of children.
Well,
I'm 17.
Dumper looks at the camera and goes, "This is starting to get ridiculous."
Well, we wouldn't want to waste your time, sir.
We start slowly closing the door.
No, I'd love to. Who's the happy couple?
We lead him in, but then, still standing in the doorway, Dumper looks Cordelia up and down and goes, "Your outfit's absurd." And then the shirt part of his thing rolls up and hits him in the face.
Earlier, when I went down to the basement to give them the bone, I also grabbed the Halloween decorations box and grabbed a fog machine. So I'm filling the living room with fog.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Got it.
obscuring
Yeah.
any, Mothman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dumper, now as an old grizzled sailor,
I haven't seen it this way in such a long time.
Don't you do shit.
he's now on the bow of a ship for some reason, going,
Arr, tis going to be a long wedding.
Jesus Christ.
sweating from Dumper.
I know, I got dump sweat.
Okay.
So we lead him over to the happy couple who.
Oh, this is not lookers. I'll tell you that much. These are not look. These are two ugly people.
Judge, please. Love is. Would you not agree that love is blind?
I would hope so. The way these two look.
Okay. Good. That's a good one.
It better be.
Well, you could see how these two would need each other more than ever. Who else could love either of them?
I guess so. Roll 46s. You're asking this guy to marry them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big money. Ooh, okay, that's good. 5 and a 6.
5 and 6.
Cool. It all succeeds.
Wow.
So describe the wedding.
Okay,
It's
so
beautiful.
on the television, we've put a beautiful scene of floral arches,
Yeah.
and which you two are standing on either side of.
But just so the Mothman doesn't become irate, I've put an iPad with the Property Brothers below the TV.
I've tried to sweep the dead flies to the corners of the room.
And all the
clean it up
dog
a little
bones.
bit, and dog bones.
And all the cans.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have my mom FaceTiming in.
Okay. She's really confused and concerned.
The volume is turned all the way down.
Okay.
She's so
She's still
upset.
not sure what
She's
she's
so-
watching, really.
Dumper is weeping. Just,
Oh.
he's just the wettest, nastiest tissue. Water is actually rising up
Yes.
from
Yeah, as the tears.
floor,
Yeah.
filling up the whole place.
Yes,
around.
it zooms out. He's in a dinghy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody is pale.
So are you like holding the Mothman's wings, or
Appendage?
like?
Sure.
I'm like my arm around him.
They're sticky and growing stickier by the minute.
Save it for the honeymoon, darling.
And I guess the ceremony is performed by the judge.
Yeah, we are gathered here today to meet these two,
Mark Mahan
Mark Mahan,
and
Patricia brother.
Patricia brother. Oh yeah. In holy matrimony, by the power vested in me through the courts of West Virginia, and then you are the husband and wife. I guess
You may now kiss the.
You may now kiss this moth creature.
I didn't think about this part.
We have an organ in
Yeah.
the living room.
Yeah.
So
Who plays the organ? I imagine it's probably a dump, right?
Dumper, but Dumper also has half of his face obscured with the mask.
yeah.
It's playing a very inappropriate. It started out as,
Yeah.
but it
The
immediately
wedding march,
becomes.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah. Phantom theme, yeah,
Do you kiss?
I guess.
Your lips start to dissolve away. And your mother watches from the iPad as it just becomes kind of an empty ring.
Oh,
And you're just like,
God.
just teeth now.
oh.
But you'd think it was all worth it because you're gonna have a place to rent at the end of all this.
And now Cordelia is waiting because this is the bouquet toss.
Uh-huh.
This is what. So she's like lined up like a linebacker, and she's like, "Let's fucking go! Throw that bouquet!
Who throws the bouquet?
I am.
Okay.
Let's fucking go!
Throw
Get in
it.
my
I try to throw the bouquet.
Can I do a dueling roll? You know what? I'll stay out of it. She could use a win.
Okay.
Might not. I dive for the bouquet.
If you lose, Mothman gets distracted by the bouquet and devours it, allowing no one to catch it, potentially jeopardizing the love life of everyone in the room.
Are you willing to risk this?
Yes. At 47, with eggs in the freezer of my apartment that I share with 3 weirdos, including a 17-year-old and a cartoon character.
Cut back
Yes.
to one of the dumper's children just eating your eggs one by one.
Double sixes.
It works.
Wow.
You catch the bouquet, and deep in your heart, I mean, well, just you tell me what is going through your head.
I mean, could this be it? Could this be the sign that I've been waiting for in my life? Me, Cordelia Gruselig, professional paint dryer watcher, whose habits involve running. I've been running from everything in my life, but
Wow.
now I'm actually, and I look over at Judge Nelson, and I'm seeing him now with different eyes. I mean, I've known him as the landlord, but I've never known him as kind of like the judge,
Right.
you know? And
Yeah.
I'm kind of just seeing him differently.
Lord of the land.
And I unbutton the last button on my shirt. And my shirt's just completely
just open now.
Open now.
Okay.
And I have my rattiest old bra wire kind of poking out on. Judge, it's a shame that we're going to be moving out of here so soon and probably won't see you ever again.
He says, "Whoa, oh, hachi, mama, yay, yay."
Do his eyes pop out of his fucking skull?
Yeah, and he says, "Ooh, with that 12 grand, whew, I don't know that any."
Woody is watching the possibility of not having to have had any of this happen, just going,
Perhaps,
Let's see those teeth.
Well, perhaps I could come live with you in your home.
He goes, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah." I mean, you could roll for that. That's another try. If you're trying to like fully seduce him and get him to live,
Okay.
to allow you to move in.
Well, then the
that's-
Mothman would get Cordelia through.
Wow.
5 out of 5.
It works, and he is thoroughly
Does he give
seduced.
me a key? Has he made a key?
He's rock hard. He goes in for a hug right away, a pretty close hug.
Yeah.
And he slides a key down your bra. He drops a key and $20.
It snags on a loose thread.
Yeah.
Of many loose threads.
Jumper to himself goes, wait a minute. Use the Mothman to kill the landlord. And then takes all the dog food and then launches the dog food to try and smother Ken with all the dog food.
Okay, so if the bad thing happens, it also smothers Cordelia,
And I feel
and
like
she probably
it's-
gets eaten.
I feel like either way, the dogs are gonna be in. There's 8 dogs.
The dogs
tied
will
to
freak
me
out,
right
yeah.
now.
5 and 2.
Okay, so
So-
you can negate it, or
I really want it to happen though. I'll take the 5 to the good thing.
okay, and the 2 to the bad
To the
thing.
bad thing.
Okay, so you do throw the food at the Mothman. The dog food, or not the Mothman, the landlord. Unfortunately, because the landlord is hugging you so closely, you are also smothered in dog food. And the Mothman descends upon you like a rabid animal who hasn't had any food, and the rest of the dogs.
honey, no!
How many?
There's 8 dogs all tethered to my waist.
So 8 dogs and a Mothman fall upon you and the landlord, and it's gruesome.
As he's eating me, I'm screaming.
Yeah,
But
it hurts bad.
there's
I
just
fall
something
asleep.
so sensual about being consumed. A sensation that Cordelia has never felt. She's
So-
never felt like she's been wholly wanted in such a way in her
You
life.
fucking
before.
army hammer motherfucker.
Yeah.
As you're being devoured, eaten alive, you do go through a pretty powerful awakening.
Oh, okay.
And you realize that this would have definitely been something that you were super into
Yeah.
had you continued to live past this moment. Unfortunately, I guess what is the last thought in your? Do you say anything? Do you have a last word? I guess this is kind of just the end as well
guess.
because the landlord's dead. Last words? Anything?
You owe me for the water bill.
Okay.
Ah.
The landlord and Cordelia, unfortunately, are both dead. The dogs continue to gnaw on the bones on the corpses, but the Mothman sort of looks up and focuses back on you. He remembers it's your special day. You're asleep. The landlord's dead. I think the city probably just public domains the land.
I hear the Property Brothers are delicious.
You're dead, so someone.
Yeah.
someone
The
else.
Property Brothers are delicious.
What's that?
You can talk?
Of course I can talk. I could talk this whole time.
We never thought to ask.
I guess, Mothman, do you want Cordelia's room? And maybe if anyone comes to try to forcibly evict us, you could eat them?
Of course, I hate bridges. I would love to move in full time.
Well, this worked out pretty well.
Kumbaya,
My lord, kumbaya.
They manifested a guitar and a fire.
Kumbaya, my
Lord, the fire starts spreading
Yeah.
the entire living room.
And the dogs in the background continue just ravaging the bodies of the landlord and Cordelia. And the camera just slowly pulls out. And the Mothman puts his arms around both their Kumbaya. And he sings beautifully. And we fade to black. Executive producer Dick Wolf.
Record scratch. Dumper pops in front of the executive producer credit and he goes, make sure to tune in next week for another episode. Oh, I'm being told that's the only one. Okay, well, thanks everybody. And have a good night.
Oh, God.
Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Aw Dang. Mothman won't move out. He said it was just for the weekend. Bye.
I lost a leg.
Can we get one more beautiful Mothman sound to play us out?